One of the best groups in modern music is Migos, the three-part team of Quavo, Takeoff, and Offset. Together they have made some of the best music and purchases the modern music industry has ever seen. Sadly, one member of Migos is no longer around. Takeoff lost his life in a violent altercation in November of 2022. At that time, he was worth a small fortune of $26 million, though that number likely would have climbed significantly higher over the course of what would have been a highly successful life. As far as his purchases go, first let's start with his car collection. As you'll see, all of the Migos members have highly impressive collections. Takeoff was no different. He owned a Maserati Gran Turismo worth $110,000, a Lamborghini Aventador worth $500,000, and a Mercedes G63 AMG worth $156,890. If this is where his car collection was going, something tells me a Bugatti would have joined these supercars. Not only was Takeoff supposedly the glue of the team, but he also had a soft spot for his family. He assisted Quavo with buying Quavo's mom a home, one that clearly is worth several million. It is one of the finest Christmas presents I've ever seen. If you didn't already know, Quavo is Takeoff's uncle, so this one is all in the family. Chances are that some truly extraordinary purchases would have come, but tragedy struck in Houston, and he was attacked with a deadly weapon that ended his life at the young age of 28. So far, we don't know who was behind it or why this incident occurred, though it's unlikely anyone will let this case go unsolved. Over 20,000 people gathered for a memorial service for the rapper. It included the likes of Drake, Gucci Mane, Ja Rule, Justin Bieber, Cardi B, and of course, Offset and Quavo. They joined millions of fans all over the world who are either gathering in person to honor the rapper or online to show their respects for one taken far too soon. They have gone so far as sharing baby pics of Takeoff found online and personal accounts of their love for him. One thing's for sure, he will not be easily forgotten. As far as Offset goes, he's earned a sizable amount of money for his share of the profits from the Migos collaboration, $26 million from their sales. As far as the cars he was able to pick up during his time with Migos, he matches up with the other two members easily. That includes his Lamborghini Urus worth $222,000, his Mercedes Maybach S600 worth $78,093, his Rolls-Royce Wraith worth $330,000, his Lamborghini Aventador worth $460,000, and his Lamborghini Aventador SVJ Roadster that's worth a staggering $500,000. What might be the most impressive thing about his life is who he managed to marry. Offset was able to snag the one and only Cardi B. While Migos is certainly a huge success, Cardi B is no slouch either. For her career, she's taken in over $40 million and is just getting started. Cardi has several high-profile cars of her own that join Offset's. That includes her Porsche Panamera 2017 that's worth $153,000, her Mercedes G-Wagon worth $250,000, and her McLaren 720S Spider worth $315,000. Her Lamborghini Aventador is the most impressive since evidently the couple got his and hers Lambos. That's a power couple right there. Unfortunately, Offset's the one who's got to do the driving since Cardi B can't drive. Together, the couple has snagged what can only be described as a lover's castle. The home is enormous. It has everything. There's a rec room, a wet bar, a giant pool, a wine cellar, and it is rumored to have its own firing range. This is one of the finest homes I've ever seen. It sits on over 5 acres of pristine land. Basically, if Warner Brothers ever needed to create an American equivalent to Hogwarts, their house would fit the bill. So how much does an enormous American castle like this cost? Well, if you were guessing like $10 million like I would, you'd be shocked to find out that they spent a fraction of that. They managed to pick this up for like $5.5 million. I don't know about you, but that seems like a deal. When it came time for Offset to pop the question, it's clear that Cardi B wouldn't just get a standard ring from Jared's or something. She would need a ring that's next level. The enormous pear-shaped ring featured diamonds so big that Cardi likely has back problems now because of it. So how much is a ring that's so huge that it likely has at least one moon orbiting it? Apparently Offset had to throw like $500,000 on this one. That would be like a top tier piece of jewelry for any other couple, but this is Offset and Cardi B. He topped pretty much every husband in the world by upgrading her ring with another one, designed by the same place that made the original, Pristine Jewelers. They nicknamed this ring the Titanic Diamond that Offset gave to Cardi on her 27th birthday. This ring is reportedly worth well over $1 million. Those two really need to stop making the rest of us look bad. Quavo, the last member of Migos to cover, also has a sizable piece of the pie for himself. He's taken in $26 million from their combined success, even with $26 million in his pocket. He spends like he's got $100 billion. Now he's hedging his bets with some pretty epic investments. Just to show you just how over the top his spending gets, he has purchased the exotic animal that all lanky celebrities buy when they want to show the world they spend like crazy. Yes, Quavo has joined the likes of Mike Tyson and the Tiger King by purchasing his own giant tiger that he's named Cho. Tigers like this can cost their owners over $800,000 when accounting for all the things you gotta get to maintain an exotic pet that can pretty much make you lunch anytime it wants. They require a great deal of space, eat 10 to 25 pounds a day, and have to have very expensive medical care. Really doesn't seem worth it to me. The most impressive thing Quavo has is his car collection. It's frankly pretty amazing. They are all the classiest cars that money can buy. For instance, he's got a Tesla Model X that runs for $150,000, a Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat for $110,000, a Jeep Rubicon Gladiator for $60,000, a Rolls-Royce Cullinan for $400,000, a McLaren 720S for $350,000, a Lamborghini Aventador S Roadster for $500,000, and a Mercedes Maybach GLS 600 for $200,000. Just in case you haven't been keeping count this whole time, this entire collection is worth around $1.7 million. Now that's impressive. Quavo stayed in an Alpharetta, Georgia home for several years and even recorded a great deal of music there. This castle-like estate is unbelievable with pools, a tennis court, and some of the greatest designs I've ever seen in a home. Recently, it's been on the market for around $1.9 million. The fact that Quavo stayed there is actually one of the primary selling points. Not only has Quavo stayed in fine homes, but he's become quite the real estate investor as well. Through Migos Touring Inc., he picked up several homes in Georgia. These all ranged from a few million, but he managed to talk the whole deal down to $2.58 million for 3 different properties that are now all in his portfolio. Something tells me that in 20 years, he won't be one of those rappers who lost all of his money for a ton of crazy purchases, even if he has bought himself a tiger. If you're building up a real estate empire, that is a huge parachute to have in case the albums ever just up and stop selling. Not only is he buying up real estate, but he's also got another business of the future on the line. He's teamed with Bitcoin Platinum to launch NFT cyber yachts. While he likes to charter yachts for himself, he's now using that image to sell NFTs in the metaverse. You'll be able to buy 888 extraordinary super yachts from his service. While this might seem like a ridiculous fad, a yacht NFT like this has sold for upwards of $650,000. So yeah, this guy is definitely gonna be just fine, no matter what happens. While the future remains unclear, honestly though, I'd say the remaining members of Migos, Quavo, and Offset probably have more success to come, even if it isn't with one another.